On this week's episode of Destinations, we leave Dalby in Queensland and make our way predominantly down the New England Highway to Telegraph Point on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. So after taking up residence in my parents' driveway for about 2.5 months, it was time to hit the road, and we headed 260 kilometres across the Darling Downs to Wallangarra on the Queensland-New South Wales border. Wasn't a bad trip, a few little teething problems, which I will cover in another video, but we found a little free camp / stealth camp at the back of the Jennings pub, and it was a pretty good spot to pull up for the night. It says no camping, but we had no problem, so we stayed there, and we weren't the only people in the camp. We've decided to install the Blink CCTV security camera system with the app. For the truck build, it gives us 5 cameras to cover sort of all 4 sides of the truck plus the interior, so we can use it as a bit of a mumbles monitor and things as well. But it also lets us just check how everything's riding while we're driving along. So as you can see here, the Dalby roads are a good testing ground, if nothing else. First, making sure the bikes don't move too much, and they do move, but they've always moved. It's a bit of a design of their rack. They moved quite a bit on the bus, and they moved quite a bit on the ute, so I think they actually move less where they're mounted now. And then we can also check inside and make sure none of the drawers and things are moving around while we're driving along as well. First night on the road, first big day moving. We've done about 260 kilometres today. We had some teething problems. The roads on the Darling Downs, if you've ever been through, you'll know how bumpy they are, and they just bounce some of these drawers open. So we might have to get bigger lockers, although on the good roads, they don't seem to move, but on the bumpy roads, every drawer was open. The chair was tipped over, those Darling Down roads or something. So I don't know whether it's something we just need to invest in a little bit more or put up with, but going to be teething pains at some point, I guess. We headed out for a quick little sunset walk around Wallangarra. Of course, the Queensland sign and the railway station there is just beautiful. Got to go and check that one out on your way through. Quite cold this morning, but it's not a bad spot to wake up. There's some horses and kangaroos over there. It was fairly quiet last night. There's a few dogs barking and things, but yeah, not a bad spot. It's not officially a campground, but as you can see, we're not the only people in. And there is like prison shitter style toilets. No showers, but yeah, toilet's just over there. Might be able to see some kangaroos down there if you zoom. Let's see if I can zoom in. The kangaroos down there. Watch your head. So we are at Girraween National Park, and we're doing the granite arches and maybe the pyramid today, but they've got a huge, beautiful, great area here. It's really, really well presented. Well, you could hear it. I really should have brought my big camera because it's quite pretty. Heaps of wildflowers and the wattles all out. It's off to a very pretty start. Go wading in there, you reckon? Have a wallow on a hot day. Definitely not on today. No, mustn't be anything, eh? No minerals. I think so. Are you going down and through? Well, that'll lead us back to that creek, won't it? I guess. He always says we can hold hands if I go for a walk, but he never waits for me. Yeah, I'm puffing. Yeah, it'll just be me huffing and puffing. Oh, it's not a bad view though, is it?
Not the guy.
Oh, only up there to go. Not too far, really.
Don't be sick.
I've stopped just short of the summit. The rock face is all wet and I'm not great going uphill at the best of time, but I'm a flatlander. I've just scrabbled all the way up there on my arse and I've got to get back down, but Tom's proceeding on just to up there, but there's water all down the face of the rock there and I think I'll go arse over tit and slide all the way to my death if I go any further, so I'll just sit here for a second, admire the beautiful view. Tom, however, the mountain goat that he is, did proceed all the way to the top and he was nice enough to grab these phone pics for us from up on top of the pyramid. Just sliding like a crab on my ass down this giant rock slippery slide.
You'd be right to stand up and walk there.
Yeah, we're not all mountain goats. But I've just slid on my ass from there to here, so I'll just keep on meandering down.
It'll look flat on the camera.
No, it doesn't look flat on the camera. It's got enough slope that it doesn't. Here's an accurate picture of me just sliding down the hill on my butt like a big water slide. After a hassle-free night at the little park behind the Jennings pub in Wollongara, we meandered down the New England. We were going to stop in Tenterfield, but the weather was foul, so we just looked at the Railway Museum there and continued on to a little roadside rest area on the Beardy Waters Creek on the I guess the north side of Glen Innes. It's an absolutely beautiful spot. There's two camps there, one each side of the highway. We took the northern one, which was less populated. The Tenterfield Railway Museum is worth the stop. It's $7.50 an adult. It is pet friendly as well, and there was quite a bit of stuff there that we hadn't seen in other museums as we've travelled around, and the staff were excellent. So I do really think that's a good one to put on your list, worth the stop there. Can't complain about the view out the back doors today. It would be nice to open them, but it's frigging freezing, so we'll have to do with the doors in version of the view. Me and Tom here. Glass doors are shut because it is only like 12 degrees. We are between Glen Innes and Tenterfield, just on the side of the road. A little rest stoppy thing.
Are you going to tell them the story about what your sister did to you here when you were a kid?
Well, not just here, down at the other stop.
It's the same thing, it's Beardy Waters.
She put a fish hook through my ear and then proceeded to drag me around the lake so Dad could cut it out with a pair of pliers.
She said something about the whiniest fish she's ever caught.
Yeah, probably. It was probably pretty whiny. But yeah, pretty nice spot for tonight. Apart from the freezing cold temperatures, might have to resort to a diesel heater. It's not too bad in the truck, but I'm going to go and try my hand at some trout fishing out there very shortly. Trying a bit of line wetting. Apparently it's trout country, but I didn't really have any trout gear in my bag, so I've just jerry-rigged like a herring hook and fly onto my line, so I'm not really expecting success, but anyway, got to try these things, I guess. Mumbles has the right idea on this cold morning, does not want to get out of bed. I don't know the exact temperature, but there was ice on the inside of the ute windscreen this morning, so cold. Nice spot last night, was absolutely iced over and frozen this morning, but the sun's out now. We were quite warm in the truck. We didn't put the diesel heater on. It was still warm enough to sleep in there, but it was cold when we got up this morning. But we still got a jacket on. Time to hit the road for the day, see where we end up. So you will see how this side of the ute has a mudguard and like a wheel arch, and if we come around this side of the ute it doesn't. That's because I backed into a tree this morning and ripped it off, which was in very good form, but hopefully we'll get it fixed. Also just doing a little water fill here in Glen Innes at the moment. Handy dandy hose link doing its job, hopefully. What are you up?
Hose link?
What is it then?
Just a normal reel. Hoselink's a brand with its proper own clips.
Okay.
Stop supporting Hoselink because we haven't got their gear.
Okay.
Hoselink want to support us, we'll use their gear.
Okay. What are you doing?
What did we discuss before we left?
I can't remember. Because I hit a tree and forgot everything. Oh, the washing. We're putting the washing on while we're filling up. That's what we're doing. Good remembering, Tom. There is I think there's some washing powder in the little doodad.
Two of them, right?
The what?
Two of them, right? Washing powder in the doodad.
And then we just meandered on down, keep going down to New England, and we pulled into Moonbi, just north of Tamworth for the night, staying with Tom's family and catching up with some family and friends while we're here. Now, we didn't record much from Glen Innes Down. We actually lived in near Tamworth for 7 years, so we'd kind of covered that country pretty well. There is some really lovely spots, especially around Uralla, Goswick Chapel, places like that. Tamworth doesn't really float our boat because we live there, but it does do a spectacular sunset, so I will give it that. And country music's a vibe if you're into that. But yeah, Tamworth's not really for us. After 2 nights and 2 very frosty mornings in Moonbi, catching up with family and friends, it was time to head coastward in a hurry so Tom could go to work. We were originally going to stay at Warhope Showgrounds, but they have some flooding and wet site issues, so we're at Stony Aqua Park in Telegraph Point, which we have stayed before. Had a decent stay last time. Problem with off-leash dogs. We'll see how it goes this time, but it's just the slowest, windiest drive over that mountain range. And that afternoon, it was time for Tom to jump back in the truck and start driving interstate freight again. And this we're planning to do probably through to the end of November. So keep posted for our travel work-life balance from here. She really is a good girl. As soon as Tom's away, she sleeps right there at my feet, watching that door like a hawk. Nothing moves down that side of the truck without her seeing it. So I sleep well knowing anyone coming in our door is getting a face full of blue heeler if they're coming in uninvited. But yeah, as soon as Tom's away, she ups her game. She becomes a proper Aussie padlock and no one's getting our stuff.